right, let's try this. So what's trending?
Would you like to know what's trending on the news? Or would you like to know what's trending on social media?
You know what? Just forget it. I don't care.
Okay then.
You know, it is gonna get very, very slippery later. You know that, right?
Yes.
Colleague of mine, fellow driver, came up to me and told me that an Amazon driver on his route broke her leg from slipping on the ice.
Surfaces can be particularly slippery when covered in snow or ice. Modify your walking pace according to the surface conditions.
Yeah. I had some young fella come up to me. He worked for Amazon. He was in one of those, those little cute, adorable vans. But he came up to me and he says to me, he goes, "Any tips on how to do this faster?" And I'm looking at him and I'm like, in my head, I'm thinking, I'm not going to tell him to just run your ass off. I told him, I'm like, yo, I am way beyond thinking that way, my friend. So that's what I said. I said, that's not how I think anymore.
Keeping your eyes up and scanning your walk path will help you identify slippery conditions in advance. This will allow you to either adjust your walk path or stride to best deal with the conditions.
That being said, there was snow and ice everywhere. Some roads were horribly plowed, like barely plowed, freezing outside, absolutely ice cold. So whatever melts turns into ice, which creates more adversity.
Be like a penguin.
And in weather like this, conditions like this, I said to him, just walk on the snow instead of the driveway, especially at night. Otherwise, you're going to be slipping like crazy.
Embrace a penguin walk with short, firm steps to minimize the risk of slipping.
And then, I mentioned to walk like a penguin.
When penguins are not swimming, they are often walking on slippery ice and snow. They navigate these conditions by shuffling their feet.
Exactly. Yeah.
When conditions are slippery, be like a penguin.
It does work, though. I barely lift my feet off the ground in certain situations. But, when there's ice everywhere and snow, I'm completely locked in. Completely. Each step. Because I can't go down. I can't go down and hurt myself like that.
Be like a penguin.
Yeah, so I've slipped a bunch in my career. I've even gone down a few times. Usually, though, when I slip, it's very strange the way my body handles it. I don't know how it happens, but if you ever seen The Matrix, when they dodge bullets and lean back, that's kind of what my body does, except really fast instead of slow. It's like my body leans back to the floor and then, like a slingshot, just snap right back up. Pretty wild. But even when you're paying attention, it could be quite slippery. And if you see ice on stairs or anything like that, it's best to just stay away. Leave the package at the bottom, because you might find yourself in a Home Alone situation, if you know what I mean. The worst slip I ever had was, it was a winter where the streets were full of ice for the whole duration. And I had like 5 light packages in my hand, my right hand, and with my left hand, I grabbed the handrail. As soon as I stepped onto the icy street and let go of the handrail, I just completely slipped. My body went up in the air and so did those packages. And I slammed to the ground flat on my back and watched those packages come raining down upon me. And I remember laying there for a few seconds and, eventually got back up and got back to it. But it was something. That was the worst fall I ever took.
But it's not easy. It's amazing that a whole fleet of drivers, the entirety of our building can go a day in that type of weather, and there are no accidents and no injuries. It really is incredible. It just goes to show you that most of us are on top of our game and know how to handle situations like that.
22 miles per hour in a 30-mile-per-hour zone.
I was happy that it snowed on a Sunday, so it's nice to be home when it snows and not be in the middle of the day at work as it's happening. Those days are terrible. At least, when it snows on a day off, it gives time for people and the town to, take care of some business and clean it up a little bit, make it a little easier. But it's still tough. You still got to adapt. Got to adapt to the conditions.
Post-snow conditions can be deceptive. Reduce speed, brake early, and avoid sudden steering movements to prevent skids on icy roads.
Knowing the way it's been here in this part of the world the past several years, the temperature will rise and it'll rain. Everything will turn to a slushy mess, and it will wipe out the snow as if it was never even here, and we'll go from layering ourselves to dealing with single-digit temperatures to wearing a short-sleeve shirt and enjoying the sun and the birds chirping. Yeah. But who knows? You never know. For all we know, a blizzard is on its way, and then the cold will stay, and the snow will stay, the ice. And you don't know it yet, but it's coming. And on that day of the blizzard, your dog of over 16 years will peacefully pass away. Rest in peace, Gizmo.
Well, let's get on with the day then, shall we?
Yes, just like a couple of penguins.
You talk a big game. Let's see you do it. Let's see you do that. Keep it up. Hold it up a little. All right.
You're going too fast.
Okay. Don't worry about it, man. I got it. Nice, son.
man, UPS is hiring.
Yo, yo.